Ladies and gentlemen, it is the end of 2025, and you have two Smarks here ready to talk to you about the two biggest takeaways they have from 2025 in the year of wrestling. I'm Michael. This is my partner,
And
Alex.
I'm Alex, and we are too sweet. Give me a too sweet, brother.
Too sweet, right there. Now, here's the thing. Alex and I, we met last December, and we said we were going to have our own wrestling talk show then, because we're both fans who grew up watching wrestling since we were both kids. And now, 12 months later, we're going to put that to life.
That's right, and I made a promise to all the Smarks out there watching us. Every time you tune in, I'll be wearing a brand new different shirt that represents a different time, different theme, different era of wrestling, rather. Today, I'm wearing a vintage WCW Bash at the Beach in Daytona Beach 1997 shirt, courtesy of... Won't plug anyone here because we have no endorsements yet, but you guys get it. Promise. Every week, new shirt.
Every week, we're going to get a new shirt, but for now, we're going to get the topic that we're going to discuss. One of the biggest takeaways for me this year that I have to talk about, I think almost every wrestling fan this year had to talk about it, John Cena's farewell tour. What did you think of it?
Big deal.
Yeah, pretty big deal.
What did I think of it? Okay, so three things come to mind. The tour overall, liked it, generally speaking. Like the idea, like the twists and turns in the road that we went from January to December. Heel turn itself, probably top 3 to 5 best heel turns in the moment. However, the heel turn run, not the best, not my favorite. Dare I say, not very good. But the idea of a farewell tour, I think, is great. And the actual heel turn itself, as I said, chef's kiss, magnificently done.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. When John Cena first announced his retirement tour, I remember feeling almost emotional. Because the way John Cena announced it, I don't know if you remember, Alex, he got on that stage, by stage, I mean the ring, whatever pay-per-view it was last year, goes, I'm here to announce my retirement. You know, we find out that he meant there's 12 months left on his contract. Then Elimination Chamber comes around, and he wins the Elimination Chamber in a pretty controversial fashion, and he has that epic heel turn that you said is probably top 3 greatest heel turns of all time that genuinely no one saw coming. And the heel turn starts, and it sucks. I just couldn't buy John Cena cheating to win matches. The idea of the never give up guy having to do low blows and scratch people's eyes when he's never done that to me just didn't make any sense.
I don't blame John. I think he's just a soldier doing what he's told, doing the best with what he's been given. But I agree with 99% of what you said for sure.
I don't think John Cena gave us an incredible match in his retirement tour until he got in the ring with AJ Styles. And by that point, he was a face again. And then he has a really great feud with Dominic Mysterio when he's a face.
Probably my favorite part of his farewell tour.
I will say that the second half, or maybe the last quarter of the John Cena retirement tour, I think was the most entertaining it's been. Overall, though, that was my big takeaway, was the John Cena retirement tour. His last match was against Gunther. And I will say this. It was what it was. I hated that John Cena tapped out. Gunther didn't need to make him tap out to be put over. But you know what? That just means that moving forward in 2026, Gunther better be the final boss. I want to see Gunther never lose a single match in 2026. AJ Styles decides to retire. What better person to retire to than to Gunther, who's already retired Goldberg and John Cena? You know, I want to see Gunther just go on a freaking tear, which is something that Gunther normally does.
Yeah.
But I want to, now more than ever, I need Gunther to never lose a single wrestling match because of this.
So 2 points on that. And I got 2 points and one to add. I don't think Gunther has been pinned in a non-title match at all in 2025. I think he's only been pinned twice, and that's to lose to Jay Uso for the World Heavyweight title and the Intercontinental title. I think the same as I think 2025. He's only been pinned twice in title matches. Well, my first biggest takeaway, because we just did yours, is interpromotional wrestling. I like it so much, it's very hard to find words sometimes about it. I just think of back in the territory days, interpromotional wrestling was a thing. That's how businesses and territory or promotions and territories made their money, by advertising someone coming from a different territory to face our guy, and maybe our guy's going to beat him, so you want to come see that happen. Or maybe our guy's going to get his ass kicked, and he'll get a second bite at the apple in his territory. All of a sudden, decades after territories were a thing, interpromotional wrestling was very taboo. You don't acknowledge the other company. You don't take wrestlers from the other company while they're signed somewhere else, unless of course it's not televised. All of a sudden, and I credited Ring of Honor to be one of the first to do it in modern days wrestling, is bringing other wrestlers from other promotions, other countries, and other promotions in other countries as well. AEW carried that torch when they absorbed Ring of Honor and really put it on blast with Forbidden Door, naming a pay-per-view after the actual taboo term Forbidden Door. You can't open the Forbidden Door. You can't have someone from WCW at the same time working for WCW to appear in WWF. And now all of a sudden, you've got CMLL wrestlers and New Japan wrestlers and AEW. You've got TNA wrestlers and AAA wrestlers, which are now technically under the WWE banner in WWE.
Now it seems that WWE is all of a sudden open to having TNA superstars and TNA champions and acknowledging that they're TNA champions. But I kind of credit Mickie James, because Mickie James was the TNA Knockouts champion, and she appeared in the Royal Rumble, which I thought was historic.
Definitely a trailblazing moment.
I want to give some of that credit to the Knockouts champion, or former Knockouts champion, Mickie James. But that's a really good take for 2025 for sure. Alrighty, I'm gonna hit you now with my number 2.
Okay.
Biggest takeaway, Naomi. Oof.
Can we proceed with caution?
Yes, you should. What an incredible year Naomi had. I mean, it started before 2025, but this year solidified Naomi as she's always been one of the GOATs. Put some respect on her name. We have Glow Naomi. Glow Naomi ran its course, and Jade Cargill comes back at the Elimination Chamber and beats the crap out of Naomi, starting an incredible heel run for her. She had that incredible promo with Bianca Belair. I think it was on SmackDown, where they both got so emotional and they got so raw, and you felt the emotion because Bianca is amazing, but then you felt the emotion from Naomi, who's been frustrated this whole time that she hasn't had her moment, and Jade Cargill obviously looked like a badass through all of this. So now we're also building up Jade, but Naomi just rose to a level of stardom that Naomi was getting pops at the level of Rhea Ripley. They were loud for Naomi. Naomi had a killer year, and Naomi was probably my favorite star at one point this year. What about you?
Awesome take. My second one is that, everyone likes championships, everyone likes championship matches, but I've noticed this year in particular, if there's so many other people on top with you, it sort of dilutes the caliber or the status of the person holding the belt. There should be one world champion in a promotion, not two, i.e. World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk, WWE Champion Cody Rhodes. We've got the Women's IC and US Championship. We've got the International Championship in TNA, and then we just got a brand new, I think it's a AEW's national champion. Ricochet just got crowned that. It was so anticlimactic, and so what does that even?
There's another championship, the one from Saudi Arabia. They only defend once whenever they go there or something.
Right. I don't even know. I don't even know if that's a championship extended. It's just a an accolade that they give you, and I don't think we'll ever see. I don't think we'll ever see Cody Rhodes hold that championship again. So my point is, less is more.
Yeah, I completely agree with all of that. Number 3 takeaway for 2025 is all the up and comers, all the next generation of TNA, NXT talent that are gonna be on the main roster soon, and superstars or rookies on AEW as well. I mean, just to name a few: Sol Ruka, Javon Evans, Oba Femi. I mean, oh my God, Oba is on another level of great. These are superstars that I had no idea who they were 1 year ago. And then they started getting real exposure this year.
Yeah.
And they have taken that opportunity and ran with it. But these people look great in 2025, and they're only going to get better in 2026. And that has me really excited for wrestling in 2026. Yes,
I think that one person that I've never heard of, and I like to credit myself in thinking that I keep up with all kinds of products all the time, is this gentleman who just got signed to TNA, I believe, a month ago, Bear Bronson.
And speaking of TNA, I believe Leon Slater's in TNA, right?
Yes.
He's another one. I saw him on
scratched the surface
live for John Cena's last wrestling night, and I'm watching Leon Slater, and I was like, "Damn, Leon Slater's really good." And I actually saw Leon Slater live when we went to TNA. I mean, we went to NXT. We saw Leon Slater live, and I thought the exact thing. I was like, "Hey, Leon Slater's a beast." So, yeah, the future's looking great
for the business for sure. Looking forward to some new blood mixed in with some old blood and see what they come up with.
What's your third biggest takeaway for 2025?
So my third biggest takeaway is just one name: Cody Rhodes. They treated this guy this past year, I'll even say year and a half, so there's some bleeding into 2024, with, I mean, if you don't think WWE trusts him to be the next guy, the guy right now, think about this: 2 Royal Rumbles in a row, 2 WrestleMania main events in a row, King of the Ring, beat John Cena, is the last person to beat John Cena for his 17th World Heavyweight Championship title run. He's just been a beast, stacking him with accolades upon accolades upon accolades. I say he'll be doing a 3rd WrestleMania in a row. His promos have become incredible. His matches, if given the proper amount of time, have been some of the most entertaining, if not the most entertaining match on the match cards he's on.
I also appreciate whenever they give a champion a very lengthy reign. And it's like he just picked up right where he left off. I think just announced he's going to do a 3 Stages of Hell's match against, and I was like, whoa, I haven't heard the word 3 Stages of Hell since I don't know what year. Like,
I can think of only one. Triple H versus Stone Cold at No Way Out. It was a regular match, then a street fight, then a cage match.
See, I could think of that match after that. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't it Triple H and Randy Orton that had the last 3 Stages of Hell match?
You might be right. Yeah. I think Triple H has been all of them, because there's one more with Triple H and Shawn Michaels at SummerSlam. I think you're right.
A lot of them happen with Triple H, but I'm glad that Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre are finally getting one. I was wondering that. I'm like, whatever happened to that match? But the fact that Cody Rhodes is in a 3 Stages of Hell match, that's the kind of champion that I want. I want a champion who's in War Games. I want a champion who's in the 3 Stages of Hell match. I want a champion who does all these stipulation matches, not just singles one-on-one matches, but we're talking the steel cages, the ladders, the Hell in a Cells, the street fights, the last man standings, all of that. And I think they did a pretty good job with Cody Rhodes. I think Cody Rhodes, more importantly, is doing a great job. He's definitely stepped up to the plate, and Cody Rhodes is carving his own path.
What would you like to see happen in 2025, 2026 rather?
What I want to see is the tag team division remain, and I'm only talking about the tag team, the women's tag team division. I want to see that continue to be pushed the way it's being pushed now. I think ever since they put the titles on Bianca and Jade, we saw a big focus on the female tag team division. Then we saw the tag team division kind of go under the radar. Lyra and Becky were tag team for like a week. That didn't really go anywhere. But once Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss got those tag titles, we saw the Machine push the tag division.
Sure. Yeah.
We have two megastars. And then once the Kabuki Warriors reunited, we then saw a legitimate tag team from the female division come back. And I still consider them the most legitimate tag team in the female division.
Agreed.
And now, when you look at the tag teams in the female roster, we got Nia Jax and Lash Legend. Solid.
Wait and see. Wait and see on that one.
Absolutely. We got Charlotte and Alexa. Wonderful. We got Kabuki Warriors. Wonderful. We got
Becky and not Becky. Bailey and Lyra Valkyrie. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky.
Yeah, right. Rhea Ripley, Io, Bailey, Lyra. We got solid tag teams right now. I think some of them need to officially become tag teams and not have separate entrance musics, or if they do, kind of interact with each other in the way that Charlotte and Alexa do. But I want to see that female division get pushed to the rocket in 2026.
Looking forward to it for that and the tag teams in general. I'll add two things I'd like to see in 2025. LA Knight winning the 2026 Royal Rumble. Yeah. And Chris Jericho's highly anticipated return. Those are our takes for 2025.
That's right. Those are our top 3 takes from 2025 each. Thank you for rocking with us. We want to wish you all a happy new year. We're going to see you all in 2026, and you can expect a lot more from Two Smarks in 2026.